It is I know people have been saying the season's been a bit, but the battle for the 8 has been magnificent for weeks now, hasn't it?
And it continues on next week too. The Western Bulldogs take on Fremantle. You think the Dogs beat the West Coast Eagles comfortably today, and that's going to be a massive game. And it was a massive announcement during the week. Snoop Dogg is going to be the grand final entertainment. Here he is.
The best 2 teams. And your boy, Big Snoop D-O-double-G at the MCG.
So that is Snoop. But did you know, TJ, that Snoop has 80 million followers on Instagram? And I think I've brought this to your attention before because this is his official feed. This is Snoop's official feed. And at one point in time, he did some massive news fails. And there was lots of fails on the news as people falling over in the net.
That is not
D-O-double-G. That did happen. On 80 million. He posted that on his own Instagram.
Well, see, I knew because I have had some protestations about his appointment as the grand final entertainment. Something in the back of my mind must have told me why I didn't want him here.
You don't reckon that was doctored? You're not going to investigate that too?
No, I'm pretty sure that was fine. Yeah. What are you getting at, Rory?
I don't know. I just don't know where that would have sat with you, so...
Just because you've had a haircut doesn't mean you're cool. All right. Snoop Dogg, please give me a spell. Let's take a look at the scores from this round of matches so far.
So we go all the way back to Friday night. St Kilda by 2 points over the Bombers. The Brisbane Lions, we weren't expecting that away from home. 57. The Giants did a number on the Suns. Carlton, 54 points, big 9-goal winners. Where's that been all season? The Hawks, I think they're the real deal, the Hawks. I said it last week and I say it again today. And the Crows, in one of the games of the season, even though it was low scoring last night, I thought it was brilliant by 3.
3 matches remain today, 10 next week, 13 remaining for the season. A lot to play out. Adelaide and Geelong prime, though, for the top 2 positions on the ladder. Brisbane, Collingwood, Hawthorn, all hoping for the double chance. Fremantle, as has already been alluded to, the most vulnerable team now currently sitting inside that top 8, because as we do flip the page, we see Western Bulldogs looming large. West Coast today, Fremantle next week. Win both those games, they are in.
OK, can I just... questions without notice. Who misses out?
I think Fremantle now.
Rory?
Freo.
Yep.
Right, OK. And does Collingwood make the 4?
There's a very few percentage points between them and Hawthorn. We need to see. They've got Melbourne next week. Hawthorn's got a big game in Brisbane Lions. So I think there's
still... too, if they win their 2 games.
If they win their 2 games, they're also in the mix as well. But I don't think it's an easy game for them next week against Port Adelaide.
Who misses out on the 4? Well, the question is...
Pies just. Yeah. Pies just,
wow.
Maybe. Yep.
OK.
Might be Hawthorn.
And you agree with that, Llordo?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the Suns, if they're any good, they beat Port Adelaide, and then their last game they've got a soft one.
The Suns have got the double-up game against
Essendon. Yeah, so they should be making it.
On the Wednesday after round 24.
What do you reckon, Nathan?
I think that Collingwood still might make the 4. I'm not sure whether Hawthorn beat Brisbane, although I'm pretty bullish on Hawthorn going a long way in September.
All right, Collingwood's still...
I was going to say, the way Collingwood played last night, they can still win the flag from 5th.
OK, well, let's talk about the Pies and Adelaide.
Yeah, it was all Collingwood in the first quarter, TJ. It was all Adelaide in the second quarter, and then it became a massive, massive arm wrestle this second half. Like, no one would relent. Both teams had a 7th defender behind the ball, so they both couldn't score. There was no score for about 15 minutes in that third quarter. And then this is the last quarter moments where they scored 2 goals apiece. But Adelaide just kept finding a way. That Phil Thorpe takes a big mark, kicks a goal. They gave Dacos time and space. He kicks that one, Brownie.
Big goal, wasn't it? And a risk to give the ball off. But they got the job done, 59-56, and we've seen a lot of games this year of low-scoring games that have been awful to watch. But this, at 59-56, was an unbelievable game to watch. It was finals pressure. It's one of the best games of the year if you can have a great game at 59-56.
I'd agree with that. That was so tense, wasn't it? Your edge of your seat stuff. All night at the Adelaide Oval.
What'd you make of it, Rory?
Yeah, one of those goals you just saw, the Pete Link snap. It was the only breakdown for the Pies for the entire game, and it came at a crucial time, and I want to go through it, because, Brownie, you noticed this as well. All right, you've got a bit of confusion here with Moore. There's a 3v1, and if we pause it here, your job at a deep 50 stoppage is to go man first, defend first, then worry about the ball. Nick's too far away from Pete Link, who picks that ball up and kicks a snap. I know why Dacos did it. He's reading this play. It's dropped short. He just wants to... He's thinking Moore might take it and give
trying to win the ball.
Receive. Trying to win the ball. But you also got Harry Schoenberg here all on his own. That was a huge error from the Pies. Very costly. This was almost just as costly from the Crows. You're leaving Josh Dacos and Scott Pendlebury free with 30 seconds left on the clock. And the way this plays out, who's it going to end up in whose hands? It ends up in Pendlebury's hands. And this is a fingernail away from being a Jamie Elliott mark. And we know how clutch he is. So if the Crows want to play and win, or they're going to play finals, but they want to win some big finals games, they'll have to tidy that sort of stuff up in their last quarters. It
came down to that throw-in goal that ultimately determined the game. Do you cut them some slack, Collingwood, for the ball coming in maybe a bit shallow?
When?
On the boundary throw-in?
Absolutely. And you can see what Nick's thinking, right? Because Cameron, the ball's right in front of him. He doesn't expect him to toe poke it back the other way. He expects him to pick the ground ball up and maybe feed it to him. And then it'll be an easy exit. So there's a couple of breakdowns there. But fundamentally, I'd always go body first, defend first, then worry about the ball after.
Absolutely. That's not good enough. You know, I think I'm not cutting anyone slack in that regard. Like, you have
It did drop short.
No, but what's Nick doing there? Like, you must grab a player. Like, Peatling's saying, all my Christmas are coming at once. There's no one on me in a defensive. So whether it fell short or it didn't, you must be locked on D50. There should be no spare players.
There was a bit of confusion too. They had a 3v1 behind the stoppage too, with Harry Schellenberg all on his own.
Is there an ability for the field umpire to say, do that throw in again?
I've seen it happen before.
Yeah. Should have it been thrown in again?
Look, it probably wasn't in that zone, but I'm a little bit sympathetic to what happened in that moment.
Well, it would have sucked the drama and the energy.
Tell you what, Collingwood will love Mark Keane back in their side last night. He was brilliant. Have a look at this smother late. And this is just the epitome of Adelaide at the moment. That is an unbelievable smother that saved the goal. He had 23 disposals, 14 intercepts. He had the most metres gained of any Crow last night, 659. That's extraordinary for a full-back. And then he goes and does that sort of thing and throw in the other key defenders back there. That's why they are premiership favourites at the moment. Not the forward half, not their middle, not Jordan Dawson. It is that back three.
We're highlighting key moments in the last quarter. When a game's decided by a kick, you do that. And Rolly Thilthorpe got away with one when the umpire chose to not free kick against him. For this moment, you can see there's a minute left on the clock and he kicks the ball away. Now, I feel he was trying to bring it up to himself and to throw it back to the boundary umpire, but inadvertently he has made contact with that ball in a manner in which it just had to be...
He got lucky, Damo.
He got very lucky. I mean, intent doesn't matter here. Right now, the moment he's kicked that is a free kick to Collingwood every day of the week.
Absolutely, that's a free kick. Got away with one completely.
TJ, it was 71 entries to Collingwood, 37 to the Adelaide Crows. But what Collingwood don't have is a big power forward. And when it's finals like last night, you need someone down the line to take a big grab. I love Collingwood's first quarter because they just went aggressive. They didn't let the ball stop moving. And when the ball doesn't stop moving, it allows for this where the Adelaide Crows defence, Worrell, Mark Keane, Murray, they couldn't get set. So this is Collingwood chaos. I love when Collingwood are chaotic like this, where they just keep surging the ball, and what it does, it allows for Murray to get caught out on Elliott. So the first goal was chaotic and the ball didn't stop moving. Then what's this from to go with? This is when Collingwood are at their best. When it's unpredictable, because you've got players like Membry who rely on that. When the game became tight, then trouble set in. So Collingwood couldn't score because they stopped that. Collingwood went a bit safer. They didn't have the chaos. They didn't have the surge, the manic sort of game. And then it became this. Well, then that's when Adelaide got set and Collingwood didn't look like scoring. So that's an issue for them, in my opinion. McKay not marking the footy down the line. Membry, not a big player to do it. And Myercheck's not doing it either. So that's an issue come finals time for Collingwood.
So both teams played with a +1 for the majority of the night. Would you have changed anything if you were Craig McRae?
Yes, absolutely, I would have. When you're having 71 entries, you're going pretty well as a midfield group. But they couldn't score, so I felt he should have equalised and not allowed for Mark Keane or Worrell to be free. I would have kept trying to equalise to try and help them score, which they couldn't last night.
So Llordo's saying, Damo, Collingwood's missing that X factor.
Yep.
Obviously, the X factor is Bobby Hill.
Yeah, it is.
Where are we at with that?
Well, let's listen to Craig McRae first, and then we'll, as a panel, debate where that's at. Post-match, Craig McRae refers here to Jeremy Howe and Bobby Hill.
Yeah, we're pretty healthy at the moment. No injuries at VFL, no injuries here at this stage. How we should be available through protocols. Bobby's getting better every day. Not sure he'll be available next week, but it's pleasing to have him back this week, training hard for us. And yeah, we might strengthen up a little bit, especially with someone like Howie available.
You learn not to read too much into what coaches sometimes don't say, but I don't think that leans me to think that he's going to be playing in round 24, Bobby Hill. Now, just to do the numbers on it, they won 14 of their first 16 matches. Bobby Hill played right up to round 15 effectively. Has only been seen once, round 21, since then, as he's dealing with personal issues, and then now as he's returned to the football club, the lack of hardened match fitness, Llordo. So to bring him back for round 21 and then to take him out again, he was ill on top of the personal issues. That was what the club said. said, but to be overlooked for last night's game, and I think just hearing Craig McRae last night, I think he needs to do more training before they consider playing him again.
Yeah, you need to trust your players that they're not going to let you down. So he's played, once, as you said, in 4 or 5 weeks. He's a Norm Smith medalist, but I don't think there's enough trust there in what he's doing. He hasn't done the work, and there's also selection integrity. You've got guys, young blokes banging the door down, and yet Bobby is coming and going 1 minute, you know, so he hasn't been there and doesn't have the trust to be selected.
So is he the sort, and we saw it in round 21 where he came straight back in essentially, although he did play VFL the week before, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, out of Frankston from memory.
Yeah, so he played that game and then he had a minor impact, one goal only in a loss to the
Okay, so I'm not too sure where they're at VFL-wise, Collingwood, but if there is no opportunity to sort of come back via the VFL, what does that mean, even if he's fit and firing?
Well, they just have to get the body of work into him, don't they, away from match practice. The VFL will wind up, I believe, as a result of this weekend, so that access won't be there.
So you're saying he hasn't been training all that much? So
well,
it's like main sessions, so where is it at? I mean, if you miss 1 or 2 sessions, not a huge thing, but I mean, you've got a body of work over a pre-season and the first 15 games, so you've got residual fitness. If it's been 3 weeks he hasn't trained for, that's a different thing. So where do we know where that's at?
They subbed him out too, didn't they? So in the game he did play, he got subbed out for De Goey.
And they forced him to play that VFL game prior to the return game, which he didn't even finish completely, and then was taken out in the 2 matches after it, missed a session in the week just gone. I mean,
They'd be doing everything they possibly can to get him back in the side.
Yeah, I think they need him.
He is the X factor. Obviously, Jamie Elliott's been brilliant all year, but they just need that different type of player to him and Schultz to be able to impact the scoreboard and impact rundowns like he's done multiple times.
All right, but at the end of the day, it was the Adelaide Crows who took the 4 points, and a little later on in the program we'll catch up with one of their finest, that's for sure, to work out just where they go from here, because it's looking pretty good for them, Rory, that's for sure. The Giants, we've been looking for the Giants to do something special at the expense of some pretty stiff opposition, and we saw that yesterday. Yeah,
we did, and we'll get to the Giants in a moment, but from a finals perspective, the Suns have probably left themselves vulnerable from that top 4 position. They can still get there with other results going their way. That's how it looks for them. The double-up game that won against Essendon on the Wednesday after the completion of round 24, that's the overhang postponed game from opening round this year. I think for the purpose of this conversation, we give them that game. They're going to start favourites, I'd imagine, against Port Adelaide, but they've just left themselves exposed a little bit.
It's not a gimme, though.
It's not a gimme. Not a gimme.
I always say that they were beaten up by the Giants through the midfield, particularly through the midfield. And they've got a great midfield, Gold Coast, and that's what they've relied on all season. But yesterday, I thought the Giants just worked them over physically. They won the contested footy. They won the uncontested mark. So they're doing it here. They're doing it there, where the Gold Coast Suns didn't come to play. I don't really like that term, come to play, but it was like physically, that was their first big test against a big opposition who came to town to take them on, and they failed.
And they were exposed with their lack of availability, the Giants. They had Hogan out, who's in a real doubt as to the remainder of the year, how that looks for him. It's a foot injury. We know he's had serious career-threatening foot injuries in the past. This is in that zone in terms of the damage he's got. They might try and nurse him through. Stringer, we know, is out. Daniels, Kelly, Buckley, they were all absent yesterday. And yet it didn't matter. They still basically toyed with the Suns when the game counted.
Well, I think it may have helped them in the end, having Hogan and Stringer out. I think because the Giants played a brand that was finals-like, and this is the first time I've seen it for a long period, where they were hungry. They wanted to pressure, and I think it's because they had a smaller forward line, and their midfielder, as Browny just mentioned before, their midfielders were just hungrier. But you watch this from Ralston. He's at the bottom of that pack there.
Harry Ralston, yeah.
Yep, Harry Ralston had a game. He kicked 4 goals, but this is what's going to get him a game in the side. That's 1, pressure. That's 2, follow-up tackle. 3, still on his toes, go and try and get another smother, young fella. That's going to get him games of footy.
So 4 goals yesterday. He only had 1 goal in 15 matches prior to that.
Yep, but I'm saying this is what they needed. But they haven't, their forward half staff and their tackles, they had 16 forward 50 tackles, and it was on the back of Bedford and Ralston that were outstanding in this era, and they need to keep bringing this because this is what finals footy is like, Llordo.
So, Rory, just on that then, that's really interesting that what you've had to say. Would you consider not bringing a Stringer type back in? Because Hogan may not get back because of his foot, but say Ralston brings that pressure versus a Stringer, you'd seriously consider going Ralston for what he brings when they don't have the footy?
I'm big on playing a winning side. When a side wins the way they did, I mean, they've still got Cadman, they've still got Riccardi, Brown plays that medium tall, Ralston, Cornelio, Bedford, Jones, Toby Green, these guys all bring the heat and pressure. I like the look of their forward line better, so yes, I probably would.
We'll look at this match in detail too a little later on. Brisbane and Fremantle both needing to make a statement on Friday night, but it was the Lions who put an exclamation mark on it.
Yeah, I watched this closely, and the fact that Brisbane, they take uncontested marks over and over again. They're the #1 uncontested mark side in the competition, so don't be beaten by what you know. And Fremantle go into this game and they know they want to build up uncontested marks. Don't let them get the ball in here. He's asking somebody to come at him. Fremantle should have been aware to this. This is really early in the game, and they just allowed this to happen all night. So when they do kick it and then they get past a line, this is your last line of defence. Have a look at all those players, Fremantle players. That is your last line of defence. If you let the uncontested marks get over that defence, then you are putting pressure on your back six. And one-on-one, you give away free kicks, and then they get a free kick out the back. Charlie Cameron plays on and takes it easy. Don't be beaten by what you know. This one, how many times have we seen Dane Zorko play on quickly and go up the middle of the ground? He does it time and time again. And this guy, he loves to get handball receives, and Caleb Strong just let him run past and get the easiest handball receive you'll ever get. So don't be beaten by what you know. And this happened over and over again, and they absolutely smashed them. They go inside forward 50 on the end of it again. Hard to defend that. And then this last one, they get the ball back. You can give this first one because you're setting up. They get the ball first. But you cannot give this one to Dane Zorko. Somebody has to be near Dane Zorko. One of the best kicks in the competition. He is pleading for the football right there in the bottom of the screen. All of a sudden, oh, gee, they're going to go to him, and he gets the football. Now, it gets a bit messy from here, but he's such a good kick and he's such a good decision maker, he gets it to a dangerous position, which shouldn't be allowed. They should be bombing that long inside forward 50. They go in, they take the easy mark. Fremantle got beaten by what they know.
They had won 11 of 12, the Dockers, going into that game, but there was a shade of what happened last year when they lost their last 4 matches to go from a top 4 spot to miss the 8. Post-match, Justin Longmuir lamenting that situation.
Felt like it was the first time we've been in that position for a while. We've probably felt the pressure of the game and lacked a little bit of composure to finish our work off. Yeah, we were chasing the game, and it's hard to chase the game against good sides like that. So I don't know whether it's the occasion or the emotion of the week. I deal in facts, and facts were we just didn't chase the game as well as we should have. What have we won? 11 of 13. I know everyone will be doom and gloom and write us off again after tonight, but got a lot of faith in this team.
You don't want to be hearing that, do you? Just where he was just second-guessing. Where were we at? Why didn't we go after them? Why weren't we nasty? Why weren't we hungry? Why were we missing these shots? Like, did the pressure get to us of trying to secure a finals berth just like last year?
Do you think it did?
Yeah, I'd have to say it did. Like, I love Brisbane though, Damo. Like, I think Brisbane are a wonderful team, and when Brisbane, lose the week before, they come out and make a real statement. You know, what they did to Collingwood at the MCG, and then what they do in this game, that they're the best big game side. And
they've got massive injuries themselves,
they
the Lions.
do, yeah. No Lockie Neal as well in that game, but smashed them through the midfield. And so there's a lot of Fremantle players I still question. So I cannot wait to see how they play against the Western Bulldogs.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, is their next assignment. They're the Bulldogs, which is just a massive matchup. It's on Sunday afternoon next week.
Yeah.
And, they've got an opportunity to take a leaf out of Brisbane's book, is what you were saying. They sort of drop one they shouldn't, and then they bounce back. They answer their critics, and quite clearly Justin Longmuir takes note of what the critics say.
Let's see what they've got, because to lose the last 4 matches last year, to go from top 4 to completely out of the 8, to then lose that game to Brisbane this year after setting themselves up with 11 wins of 12, they've still got the chance, Rory, don't they, to redeem. And that's the beauty of football. If they beat the Bulldogs, we're not talking about this angle on the Dockers next week.
No, and they've performed well across, as you mentioned, the last 10 weeks, which has been enormous from them. But there's no tougher task than the Doggies at Marvel. They move the ball so quickly, they're so clean in there, so their pressure's going to have to lift. And as Brownie showed before, don't get beaten by what you know. The Dogs' hands are elite. They're going to have to pressure them.
Talking about the Lions' injuries, they got another one, a serious one potentially. Jared Berry, contacted by Andrew Brayshaw here, and it's a simple football push, but he landed badly on that left shoulder, which was dislocated. The dilemma for the club now is to work out what to do. It is a dislocation, so there's a possibility of it going back in and being strapped up and being exposed to other knocks in whatever may lie ahead. Equally, they could just put him out. But I feel they'll try and do what they can to keep him going in this. It's dangerous because we know what happened last year to Oscar McInerney in a similar situation late in the season. That happened in a prelim final. This has happened in the second last time in a away season. He's so crucial to them. I think they'll try and give it a go.
They get a week off as well. It'll be up to him. It'll be how much pain he can handle. Obviously, the shoulder can pop in and pop out. It's just how much you can bear and how much you're willing to go out there.
He's so important to them now, isn't he?
He's tough. So I'd back him in to get the job done.
You reckon we'll see more double headers on a Friday night? Moving forward? You don't like it?
No, not really.
I thought it was great. just flicking between the two. I know you had to go to a pub to watch the Fremantle one, but, you know, they do that for a spacing point of view, do they?
Yeah, I mean,
it's
been a bit all over the place in recent
Thursdays.
weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But the AFLWs, I presume, to give that the
clean air.
Clean air, yeah. But I think Fremantle v Brisbane would have been a pretty nice standalone game on Friday night football.
Yeah, just from a couch point of view, like flicking between the two, because St Kilda and Essendon, which we'll look at a little later on in the program, was a pretty handy match to watch as well. Hawthorn, the team that Nathan reckons is unbackable to win the premiership this year.
They are travelling really well, TJ. Like, I'm not sure they've got any weakness at the moment. But what about Jack Gunston? Like, he has 14 disposals, 10 marks, 7 goals for. Stephen May started on him, and he was just too quick for him. I'm talking at this age, too dynamic, too smart on the lead. They had no answers for him. Does he make All-Australian now? So Jeremy Cameron is the first that gets locked away.
I think he has to.
Yeah, he has to. And then you've got Norton or Thilthorpe that I think buy.
What are you going to describe him as? Is he a full forward or is he a forward pocket?
Or is he play 3 tall forwards in this team?
You could name him any. I think you could name him forward pocket, Damo,
And the fact that twice in the last 7 weeks he's kicked 7 goals in a game, having not done so in 271 matches before that.
Yeah. Again, he missed the first 2 games of the season.
He was left out of the team.
He was left out of the team.
And it's the way Hawthorn are moving it, aren't they? They're moving it so quick. They play to his strengths where he's able to keep moving, get in behind a big defender, and he's reaping the rewards from up the ground.
Carlton supporters have been waiting for something to hang their hat on, and that came yesterday at the expense of Port Adelaide, and great to see players like Sam Walsh back, of course.
They got it. Sam Walsh was back. He played really well, but they dominated out of the centre clearances. Tom de Koning was good. He's been down, obviously, as a lot of the Blues midfielders have. And when you get the ball in quickly like they were, it just suits Harry McKay to kick goals, and Hewitt was fantastic. 19-7. Out of the centre clearances. Obviously, Josh Carr is the midfield coach at Port Adelaide. They've obviously had a pretty ordinary season, Port Adelaide, and it culminated in a really bad loss yesterday. But something for the Blues supporters, but you'll ask, where's it been all year?
They wanted to take the game on too, didn't they? They wanted to drive and use their legs and carry and handball, and exactly what you said. Harry just reaped it.
And now we wonder, what do they do? Do they make a big, bold call on one of their... Like, I'm talking Charlie Curnow. Do they think to themselves, OK, with what Harry did, can we bolster our midfield, or can we get someone in, to... Because I don't think Harry and Charlie work that well together. They sort of get in each other's way. Could they bring in a prime-time midfielder?
Yeah, but who? Like, who's out there that they can...
Well, I'm not sure. Like,
OK, so who are you keeping? If you're going to throw that up, are you keeping Charlie or are you keeping Harry?
What I'm saying is Charlie might give you more.
He would on a currency sense.
On the currency.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking like Zach Butters and these guys. I'm saying, could they weigh up? I know we don't want to lose Charlie, but is a midfielder more what we need right now to get ourselves a chance to be in the mix in the next year or two?
Yep. We've known that Ken Hinkley was not coaching beyond round 24 in 2025. It's his 13th season as coach. He's never before finished with less than 10 wins in a season, TJ. He's only got 8 now. There's 1 game remaining. Things got a bit testy when the bigger picture and his own role in the club this year got raised post-match.
It's been a long time coming, but I'm glad it's here now. I'm sort of glad it's here, and because of the challenges this year's put upon us, we can actually particularly celebrate Trav, and I hope that's what it is. Glad it's here. I'm sick of the. Be honest, I'm sick of the wait. It's been a bit of a battle to get to the end, and we've got here now. And I'm really proud of the way we as a footy club and Trav, myself, and everyone involved with our footy club have been able to keep our spirits up and our energy up to get to the end of the season with lots of challenges.
Went back to the start, like, would you have seen out this year, or do you feel you should have perhaps stepped down at the end of earlier in the season?
I find that highly offensive. The question's unfair because I committed and the club committed to seeing the season out right from the very start of the year, and we said all the way along we knew what was going on.
The toll of that decision's clearly weighed on everyone, including Ken, right through to the second last game. I think it's a fair question.
Absolutely.
Given they've won 8 matches, that's the lowest win return he's had in 13 seasons. I mean, I'm a massive Ken fan, but this is some of the drubbings that he's got. They are massive smashings by clubs, and that's just the last 5 weeks that we're showing. So, yeah, whether he can get them up for a one last game for him as coach against the Gold Coast Suns to throw another curveball into the machinations of the 8, who knows? knows? But it's been a slow burn this year.
The sick of the weight comment, that's the one for me. I was like, oh, that didn't sound right.
I think that invited the question that he found so offensive, because he was basically paraphrasing what Ken had said.
And you never do it again. I think listening to that, what he's been put through, what Josh Carr might be feeling like, gee, I haven't had a great year myself here. So I just think you put a season on hold when you do what they've done this year.
So do players lift? I mean, if they've got any semblance of love for Ken Hinkley, do they lift and give it 120%?
They would want to, but that's been their problem all year. They've been so down in others. It looked like they weren't there on the weekend. They checked out. But they will. They'll come to play this weekend because it's Ken's last game and it's Trav Boak, and they're both absolute legends of that footy club. But it shouldn't take something like that to play with pride throughout the last month of footy.
But whilst that can be the narrative in the build-up to it, once you cross the line, aren't you just focused on what's being presented before you as opposed to, the aftermath?
Yeah, you are, absolutely. But they'll build it up. And there's going to be a much bigger crowd there. They had, I reckon, under 30,000 for their last home game, so there'll be 50,000 there to celebrate, and that'll get the energy up too.
All right, terrific stuff. Coming up later in the program, we've got Media-ocre.
Yes. Looking forward to it. We didn't have it last week. The ones we missed out on last week we've put into this week, so it's a double banger.
And you've got two daughters playing in finals?
One daughter and one son today.
Right, okay.
So good luck to all the young junior footy players out there playing today. The finals kick off.
And it was beautiful just listening to you talk to your children on the phone before we came on air, and your big pep talk and words of inspiration.
Wasn't it?
Don't forget to put the dog outside.
Yeah.
And of course, in Deep Dive today, Llordo is paying tribute to one of the greatest names in the game. But which one will it be? Because same name.
Yep.
Untaggable, I'd say.
Sorry?
Untaggable.
Yep, that's coming up.
On another note, E.J. Whitten, 30 years ago today, the great man passed away. So unbelievable that time goes really quickly. August 17.
30 years ago.
30 years ago today.
That's right, because we paid tribute not so long ago on that lap, which I still think is one of the most poignant moments at the MCG ever. On that note, it brings us to a segment that Teddy would have loved. What caught my eye? And we'll kick it off because, Llordo, look, it hasn't been a great few weeks for you, I must admit. You were basically snubbed by your own football club with the list of 2,000 premiership players there. You blamed Jared Waitley, but Jared said, I only read what's presented before me. So that was that. But then, of course, you were honoured with your own line of apparel, and you admitted that you actually get a cut from that. Merchandise on offer for this particular match. So there you go. If you want to pick up your limited edition Lloydie T-shirt.
Look at the pipes on him.
How much of a slice do you get out of this?
I know nothing about it, TJ.
Come on.
Yeah, well, we did find out later you do get a slice from it. I'll tell you what they're selling. They're selling so well, they're now in the throwaway bin. From 70 to $49
for a T-shirt.
Still good value.
Seriously, come on. I mean, even $50 is a clearance. So you, with your deal with that, did you do it like a home loan? Is it like a fixed rate or a variable? Like, how do you work that?
I think it was just a few bucks a T-shirt, I think it was.
Right, okay. All righty, Rory.
TJ, so you and Tommy Morris have a very special relationship, but he threw you under the bus in this situation.
Plenty to come, and what's that?
You've had a bit of a win this afternoon, haven't you? Look at this.
Tom, we're going to have another little chat. But, no, there was a group of kids down there that gave me a donut, and as you can see, I've taste tested it. So anyway, so we'll hand back to you. We're going to have a chat and we'll see you in sport.
You had a little nibble. The kids could have done anything to that, but I want to cut to the wider view of this because you were still on air and you just couldn't wait. You were so hungry. You had the straight arm, but as soon as the cameras are off, in it goes and nom, 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 nom. Good. Very good. Tasty.
Don't show that. My wife said I'm on a diet.
It was beautiful timing before you did the impersonation of Jared Waitley, because you did an impersonation last week of Ross Lyon, which wasn't your best impersonation.
Okay. Look, I just think if you want to start talking about the percentages and the KPIs, I think maybe you've got to look at the other teams and that. We're in a rebuilding phase.
Look, I'm not going to take a point off you. You're not going to get a point either. It was pretty bland.
Yeah.
It wasn't your best, because I think you're really good at impersonations. You've said time and time again that you are, like the Jared Waitley one before, so I thought we'd show your best hits.
No, don't. Jared will be the most apologetic. You know what Jared's like. He's going, Llordo, I cannot believe I've done that. I'll get a phone call after the show. TJ, Robbo, I'm confused. All right.
I think we've got an awareness of what it is, TJ. It might be good.
Well, just yes or no. Don't need to give us... I think we've got an awareness, TJ. Well, TJ, I think we've got...
I don't know, the boys upstairs.
Oh, jumper! Oh, little Ernie Sigley over here. Hey, ding-dong out there, is he? Hang on, there has been one who has been quite demonstrative and almost abusive.
What happens behind the mediocre doors stays behind the mediocre doors.
Has there been somebody?
No, that's not Tony. Tony. Do good impersonation. Do the Ernie Sigley one again. That's good. I like that one.
Nah, come on. Do you want to do a little bit of... How about me and Ding Dong do a little bit of hey, Paul?
Hand movements as well. Hey, the retiring class of 2025, it's a great one. We've seen some farewells in recent weeks. Trav Boak there and Nat Fyfe. We've got Michael Walters also saying farewell. These are all-time great footballers doing so. Jeremy McGovern too. Iconic moments for him in a West Coast premiership. So it's a significant period in these people's lives. As you guys on the panel know, you're in a period of transition and you don't know what the next phase is. The unknown can be scary. But when our man, Llordo, in 2009 reached this same stage of his life, he was excited because of that word starting with C.
No, I've had a gutful and I'm done, so it's all over.
You had the country clubs on the line as well?
yeah, so there's a few cash jobs there, Richo, but my weekends are gone and I'm happy watching.
It speaks all languages to Llordo, TJ. Cashies. Now, there's enough passing of time for that not to be an issue with the tax office, Llordo.
Yeah,
but,
that's right. And I wasn't one who dodged and got somewhere during a news bulletin either recently.
That's a very, very good point, actually.
I'll move on. Anyway, now, TJ, you're an amazing host.
Oh, no.
No, but when you make calls on the game, I worry for those who you make the calls on, starting with the Magpies.
Collingwood, for mine, and I'm not saying this as a Collingwood supporter because I can be unbiased, but I think they're head and shoulders above the rest at the moment. Collingwood just tick just about every box at the moment.
So let's take a look at the kiss of Chomp. I'm bringing it back. So there it is. There is the kiss of Chomp. And TJ called on May 25, and it's just been absolute free fall since July 11. Gold Coast lost 20, Fremantle 2, Brisbane.
Struggled against Richmond as well.
Struggled. So one game, one win in the last 6 weeks. So you have killed them like you killed West Coast. No, you said West Coast couldn't win. But then it's gone to another level. So I bought in the primetime takeaways. Who's Brisbane's most important player? And this is what TJ had to say.
It was a joke.
Who is the most important player to the Brisbane Lions? I'm suggesting that this guy is like Brayshaw to Fremantle.
Can I throw a random one in? Eric Hipwood? Because we've seen that when the Lions do win and win well, it's he who stands up.
Don't know about that. He'd be behind Rayner and a few more others.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's your that's what the question I asked. Yeah.
Appreciate you sharing it.
Okay.
Hang on. It was a joke.
No, it wasn't. You stopped again. But Eric Hipwood certainly didn't think it was a joke because now the kiss of Chomp is back. So here's Eric since you made that. So this is round 21, 1 goal haul. Then he went to a 0. Then he went 1. And unfortunately, another 0 on the weekend, TJ. So you put the kiss of Chomp on Eric. So do you want to take that back just so we can get Eric back into form heading into the finals? Who is Brisbane's most important player?
I'm sticking with Eric.
Oh.
Hang on. Because I remember, I reckon it was not that long ago, you guys were bagging him to the hilt, and then he came good, and you're all over him like a cheap seat. This is what you do. You write people off. You did it to Brisbane last year.
Yes, I did.
Right? You do. You write people off, and then suddenly you're all over them again.
No, we've never been over Eric. We've never been on Eric's side.
I think you were once. Yeah. Anyway, I'm in Eric I trust. I know.
Who's your flag tip, by the way?
Collingwood.
Okay. Oh. Sorry, Craig. Sorry, Craig. It's all over.
It's done.
All righty, we'll take a break on the Sunday Footy Show. In Eric we trust. Welcome back. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show, and well, we're all watching. Assuming, of course, you've got Fox Footy and KO, we're all watching Adelaide and Collingwood last night. And this really was, as I said in the introduction, finals came early.
Absolutely. Couldn't take my eyes off it because of the intensity the game was. Fogarty 2, Walker 2, Philthorpe. So 5 goals between the big boys. Worrell and Keane, what seasons they're having. And Jordan Dawson, he should be All-Australian captain with what he is doing this year as well. And Nick Dacos, again, the best player for Collingwood. But they were pretty good, Collingwood, last night. And one of the recruits of the season, so important for the Adelaide Crows, is Isaac Cumming, and he joins us this morning on the Sunday Footy Show. Isaac, you played in it. How intense was that one compared to everyone else you played this year?
Yeah, no, that one was up there. It was obviously a pretty gutsy win in the end, but we made hard work of it. I think he gave him a 30-point head start at quarter time, I think. So we made it tough for ourselves, but it was good to get it done. Was it raised after the game by Matty Nix about, Hawthorn, you didn't start well, and Collingwood, you didn't start well? It's something that's got to be a big focus from this point on? Yeah, no, we obviously did sort of speak about it. We don't want to keep giving teams head starts like that, but in saying that, it's good to know that even when we do start a bit poor, we can claw it back. And Nixie spoke after the game about Alex Neil-Bullen, mentioning that we haven't achieved anything yet. Maybe be happy with the win, but we haven't achieved anything. Yeah, exactly. He's a wise man, Nibbler. He said that a few weeks ago. When we were sort of on a pretty good run, but when push comes to shove, like you just mentioned, we haven't achieved anything yet, and we've got a spot in September, and that's when the important stuff starts. You're involved in a pretty important goal. Paddled it out, did a nice job. Now, I need you to be honest. Was it a throw coming from your man Benny Keys? Oh my days, it was a throw. I actually, when he threw it to me mid-air, I was like, oh my God, that's going to get called back. But he disguised it well, Keezer. Who are some of the players that you've, since joining the Adelaide Crows, you've gone, I knew he was good, but I didn't realise he was this good since becoming a teammate? I think you boys mentioned it before. Josh Worrell and Keeney. I watched a little bit of footy last year of the Crows, obviously, but what they've done this year is just, insane. It's an absolute credit to them both. And, Neil-Bullen as well, obviously came here at the same time as me, but him as a player, obviously super impressive, but as a person, one of the most impressive men I've ever met. Isaac, you had 7 years as a Giant. Obviously, Leon Cameron, your coach, Adam Kingsley as well. First year under Matty Nix. It's his first time into the finals, 5 previous seasons, well short of reaching that status. How have you found that, and how was he post-match when it dawned on him that you could most likely finish 1 or 2 at worst? Yeah, no, he was obviously, he was obviously pleased that, we're a lock to play now. But, he made a good point of we're far from playing our best footy. We obviously got smashed with inside 50s against the Pies last night, and we're a bit poor 2 weeks ago as well. So, it's a good thing that we're winning these games, but we've got to find some form before the real stuff starts. And have you sensed the enormity of what's happening there in Adelaide at the moment, with 54,000 there, obviously coming from GWS and playing here? Have you felt the enormity of the state getting behind the club? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's hard not to see it, but it's just unreal. It's unreal to be a part of, a city that loves their footy that much, and obviously all of the noise around it is super positive at the moment. But no, it's just an absolute buzz here. I'm super grateful to be a part of it. Hey, just before we get back into the match, nice little Broken Hill connection being formed there at the Crows, isn't it? Are you from Broken Hill originally? Paradise Hill, yeah, from Broken Hill. Yeah, and Tex is from there as well? Tex is from there. Yeah, well, there you go. Nice Broken Hill. Dean Solomon's also. Dean Solomon, yeah, as well. Yeah. So you touched on some areas. So what do you reckon you need to tidy up on, you think? Yeah, it's great to hear that you're still on top of the ladder, but you're not content. West Coast wasn't the best performance last week either. What do you think are the keys for you guys to take to North Melbourne this week heading into the finals? Obviously I mentioned it before, but our starts need to get a bit better. And, that's off the back of contests. I think both first quarters the last 2 weeks, we've been down in contests at quarter time. That's some of that sort of some tackling and some things around that. But, I think if we can fix that up and, if we start well, it's got a huge sort of effect on how the rest of the game can go.
Isaac, well done on the win last night. Well done on the season so far, and it ain't over yet, that's for sure. So really appreciate you coming on the program, mate.
No, thank you very much for having me, gents. It's been a pleasure.
Don't go yet, mate, because we're still going to tell you about the prizes you'll be getting once Rory packs his duffel bag. But these are the votes from last night.
Yeah, it was a very even game. I thought Worrell just held up so well. He's so desperate.
All-Australian Llordo?
I would love to see it, but I hate that you have to earn your stripes a lot, you know, so I don't think they should make him have another great season because I think he's good enough to be in there the way he plays. Dawson, Mark Keane, he makes some mistakes, Keane, but he also was brilliant.
Most metres gained last night.
Yeah, and Nick Dacos.
Normally we say goodbye after the votes and the prizes, but we'll do it a different way today. A family pass to Gunbuyer World where water slides, thrill rides and wildlife collide. Just be careful of the quokkas, they bite. A HitFit membership, combine body weight and boxing for a full body workout. And you'll be best dressed on the golf course thanks to Clutch & Co. And we'll kit you out in Catstar, Brad Close's clothing brand. Be Close, your swing, your style. We all got Brad Close's stuff last week. A box of Chrome Tour golf balls and a cap thanks to Callaway. Bar Fridges Australia are back. It is your one-stop shop, Bar Fridges Australia. A pair of Aquila's premium quality footwear since 1958. A pair of Rick's eyewear. Rixie eyewear that inspires confidence. And TJ, who doesn't love a free meal? TJ does. So we'll give you one at Platform 28, the best pub in the Docklands. And you can elevate your wardrobe with the latest streetwear style from St. Goliath and 2 pairs of hybrid undies in a mid and a long leg. The Better collection. They've sewn elastic into the groin. It is a game changer. And treat yourself to a batch of Daniel's Donuts. Book a delivery online today. Oh, Donut Man Tony. And then a cap from Travis Matthew. That is the best prize pack in the business. All going Isaac's way.
Absolutely it is. Isaac, plenty there for you, mate, to re-gift at Christmas.
Happy days, and I'm pretty sure I've seen 4 donuts in there, TJ, so they'd want to be 4 in the box when they get there.
That's good, isn't it? Good work from you. Well done. All right, then. Nice to talk to you, and as I said, all the best for the remainder of the season.
Very much, gents. Have a good one.
All right, you too. There you go.
Good value.
Good. Very good. Yeah, good. Yeah. Another, and as you said, Dean Solomon also from Broken Hill. Yeah. In fact, they've got a nice little sort of conglomerate there of players who've come from that part of the world, or Paradise Hill, as Isaac called it. Welcome back. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. Of course, Hawthorn, Nathan's big raps for Hawthorn, and rightly so, because they were in fine form again yesterday, Rory.
Absolutely rightly so. Jack Gunston in unbelievable form in this late stage of his career. But Llordo, their half-forward line, in particular their smalls, have to be up there with the best in the comp.
It is. I think the best sides have 3, and they've got 4 because Luke Bruce is a sub. So they've got Connor McDonald, they've got Dylan Moore, who we're showing right now. They've got Jack Ginnivan, and then they've got Nick Watson. So they've got 5. Nick Watson as well, who they subbed out for Bruce. So this is Dylan Moore. So we were concerned a little bit about his form, but he's well and truly back to his best.
Great 6 or 8 weeks.
So 32 disposals and 2 goals. So the work rate of all 4 of them, to their ability to get up, but then they don't get outnumbered at the fall of the ball because they can work so hard. That's a testament to how hard they work.
They're a great wet weather side too, Hawthorn. You think over the last couple of seasons, and they belted Collingwood in the wet at the MCG last year. Every time it rains, every time it's a little bit of rain, Hawthorn go to another level.
And this is Connor McDonald's highlights too, but he works up the ground, same as Jack Ginnivan. They work up so hard, but they reset even harder to get back and get dangerous. And you're right, Brownie, they're just so clean. And I think they're... Their skills are elite, and that's why they're so good in the wet weather, because they keep the game simple. They run in numbers, they keep it a straight line game, and they want to press into that forward.
And I think the exciting thing is just that Connor McDonald, he can be a midfielder. He's only a year or 2 off that when he can work his way into it. And then you've got Wizard Watson, who's a very good impact player.
He is. Jack Gunston, obviously, with the 9, Dylan Moore 8. McDonald got the 7, and so did Impey, who, again, their half-back line is outstanding as well.
All righty, it is that time of the week. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Just as I always say, take it for what it is. It's just a bit of fun. Everybody mucks up. Everybody has a wrong thing they say. I do it quite often, and I've had myself in here as well. So just take it for what it is.
You could do a list for who's the most sensitive. You don't have to name them, but would there be someone who jumps out right at top?
I reckon you should name them, actually.
Yeah. I'm not going to name anybody.
Well, I think we know.
Could you name them for him?
You can't see behind the mediocre curtain.
There's a couple coming to my mind where I'd love to pop out.
No, I think there's one in particular with a glass jaw. We'll take a have a look.
Who are you referring to?
Disappointed, wasn't it?
Let's get to it.
Okay, you be the judge.
David King took one of our segments for a test drive. Safe to say, didn't go as planned.
I want to talk about the Saints. They understand the gravity of what's happening with Nasiah. It's a full club thing to try and win him back. There's a little bit of vision that caught my eye today where Nasiah was threatening to come off the ground with an injury. Doesn't appear that the producer has that vision ready to go at the moment, which is another concern. And I appreciate your work tonight. He hasn't got it.
Kingy wasn't the only one at Fox not seeing what he wanted.
How about his pickup? Delightful. We see here the recovery.
Might be coming back. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Kane Corns and Luke Hodge disagreed on the definition of one word this week.
In a word for you, finals contender next year, yes or no?
I believe so. If they get in the field of blokes, you got Walsh come back, who another pre-season. Nick Newman's a massive out. I think he's a. People outside the walls of Carlton don't rate him as high as what they do inside. So if they get a few of those injuries back in, plus get another draft.
We'll get back to that. I'm not sure what Gary Lyon was trying to communicate here.
He gets all that credit, and I think that's what our recruiting staff has done so well, is bring in Tom Atkins, Sean Manor, Tom Stewart, and recruit more, because they come in ready, they come in with a...
To be fair, it can be hard to work out when to talk in this caper.
And the fact that they were concerned about his game plan, about the failure to convert from all those inside 50 stoppages, etc., etc. So what happened then...
He's been in our program for 11 years.
I think we're having a listen to the press conference now.
So I spoke to the playing group.
Oh, OK, I'm going to keep talking. I'm sorry, we've got some technical issues.
We're having a couple of technical issues tonight. Apologies to that.
That said, Hodgie seems to be going just fine.
Pick in, I reckon they're a chance, but the writing was on the wall there when they said if 14th not our spot, if they're not playing finals next year, clearly Michael Voss won't be there.
Kane Corns was critical of Footy Classified this week.
So he's gone on Footy Classified. That's the program he used to work on, of course. He would have been paid handsomely to go on. He's got a great relationship with some of the people running that show. He wasn't asked any hard questions. And whatever, that's okay. That's the panelist's decision to go down that path and look after essentially one of their own and provide an environment for him that is not threatening and that he can essentially say what he likes.
Let's see how he went when he had Ross on his show.
Thought you did a good job of conditioning the Saints fans that they're going to have to be a little bit patient.
You used to do 100 rotations, get a bit manic. Now, if you get 5 messages, the game goes by you. But I do say, I used to terrorise Dean Anderson. How can you be a board member and let your son... Maybe you should get back to Hawthorn.
1.8 million.
I haven't seen the 1.8. I haven't seen it.
Well, that's been...
Well, everything's been moved and floated. I'd be disappointed in them if they didn't.
So, Ross, we can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Good luck this week.
Finally, when you're a premiership player, a 2-time All-Australian and a 5-time Best and Fairest winner, you'd think they'd get your name right.
He's on tilt at the moment, Zane Dorker. Zane Dorker.
You're not the first, you probably won't be the last.
Well done, Zane Dorker. Dane Zorka.
Yeah, part of that whole setup, and they talked about Zane Dorker. Dane Zorka.
I think you'll see that first thing on Monday morning, Dane. Zane Zorko. Zane Dorko.
And he has Zane Dorko. He has Dane Zorko with him.
I'm Nathan Noun, and that's Media-ocre.
Wow. I'll tell you what, taking a little bit of fun.
Just a bit of fun.
I'll be saying Zane Dorko the rest of the year now.
Yeah.
Bit of fun. That's okay.
Yeah, it's all fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good.
It took me 3 years to stop saying Carlos Alcatraz. But anyway, we finally got through that.
Who had the glass jaw you were referring to before?
Sorry?
Who had the glass jaw?
I think he featured in that. We'll take a break. Back with Deep Dive right after this.
It's hard to put into words just how special Gary Ablett Jr. is and was as a footballer. What a talent, what a superstar. It wasn't easy being the son of one of arguably the greatest player of all time, but he went close himself, so I'll be interested to see where everyone thinks he sits in terms of the greatest player that's the game's ever seen. But look at that record, 357 games, 445 goals, 2 flags, 2 Brownlows, 8 All-Australians, 5 Lee Matthews trophies awarded by his peers, 2 Best and Fairest for the Cats and 4 for the Gold Coast. And wasn't it, TJ?
Is that one of the... It's an interesting question. If you could, at the end of your career, outside of premiership medallions, have any other trophy, would it be the Lee Matthews trophy because it is judged by your peers?
Oh, well, he's just done everything yet, TJ. I don't know where it sits. I'm not sure. I think a Norm Smith medal outside of a premiership medal for me would be the one I'd want most, to stand up and be the best on grand final. But here he is with his father.
Oh, I think that's Nathan, isn't it?
No,
yeah, it might have been, yeah.
That was obviously Gary Jr. And here he is playing in the under-18 competition. Look at the size of him. That's Campbell Brown, the last bloke you'd want to play on in the under-18 championships. But he just showed signs. We see even Joey Montagna and Jimmy Bartel in some of these clips as well. But you saw glimpses of him. But once he matured, he learnt to work. He got some hard feedback too from the Geelong players, Damo, around a graphic you're about to show as well.
Yeah, we might as well go to that now, Llordo, because he started in 2002 and ultimately struggled with regard to possessions in those first 5 seasons of football. They had the big powwow coming out of that 2006 period, the entire all-of club review, the decision to keep with Mark Thompson, and then look what happened beyond that particular moment. 2007 onwards, he became the great that we now know him to be, and it was almost overnight, having had a 5-year build-up to it. But they convinced him, Llordo, didn't they? As you know, to believe in himself that he could be the best by some way, but he just needed to do a little bit more work, and he did.
Well, he had an unbelievable squad around him too, which certainly helps, because he was the most untaggable player that I've certainly played across in my time. We used to try and tag him with all 3 of us in the midfield. We'd go, all right, we'll rotate this each quarter, or each time we're on, Scott Thompson to go to him. But you couldn't. He was so explosive, Brownie. When you have that sort of strength around your hips and you got that explosion with your legs, you can't keep up with anyone. And he was so damaging, and he's going to go down as, for me, the one of absolute greats of all time.
What I'll say, Brownie, is just how clean he was. And so below his knees, he never panicked. The game stopped for him a lot. He balanced himself. A lot of these players invent problems for themselves, where he always straightened himself up. He steadied himself. He did everything just better than everyone else, and it wasn't trying to do, I look at Buddy, where he got himself in trouble early, where he's trying to kick around corners. He just did everything right, Brownie.
And he was genuinely fast too. The fact that he doesn't look like he's going flat out, but he motored every time he had it. This is the grand final. So his old man might be the best player I've ever seen, but he didn't win a grand final. And he went and won 2 in 2007 and 2009. Played with his brother, obviously, and played really well in these premierships as well, as you see here. And this was great for Geelong people. They hadn't had a premiership for so long. The old man tried to. I think the old man played in 4 and lost 4. Yep. And then the 2 young ones made it. And then this happened.
2011, a 5-year deal with the new kid on the block, the Gold Coast Suns. And you can see the attention already for Gary Ablett. So they almost paid for him just on that media conference alone, because what he did, he put this club front and centre and on the front page and headline news. And
the way he performed up there too, he was one out, really. They had a very young squad, and the way he performed, he was still untaggable up there. He was just unstoppable, really. He'd have 40 every week, and that was like a small game for him.
$1.9 million a year over that 5-year period. And, of course, it was at the end of 2019 and he went back to Geelong. But mission accomplished, you'd have to say, Damo?
Yeah, I feel so. I'm going to get to what he actually did in that 2014 season, but you're going to take us down another path now.
Just a match winner. So he was a clutch player, match-winning goal. So this is the prelim against Collingwood. So in the prelim here of 2007. So that's something that I'll remember him for, his snaps and his ability to just the class and clutch. And Gold Coast wins were hard at times, but here's him kicking the sealer for the Gold Coast Suns against a heartbreak for St Kilda. But again, those snaps, he just did not miss. Just a wonderful, wonderful player. Gary Ablett, look at this, below his knees again, clean, evasive, never panicked. Bang, Ablett Jr. As I said, is he the greatest that has played?
So it was a big signing in 2011, and then 2014 they were in the 8 when this happened, and he was tackled there, shoulder popped out, and basically he were not the same, obviously, for the rest of that year. It arguably cost Guy McKenna his job. Guy McKenna still feels it. This moment, which took them from inside the 8 at that stage of the season, was round 16 in 2014. Only won 1 game beyond that without Gary Ablett for the remainder of that year. Here we are in 2025. They're on the verge of making their first final series, but had he not popped that shoulder, he may have been able to take the Suns through to the 2014 series.
Llordo, the greatest mids always kick goals, and these are a couple of special ones from the pocket. At Cardinia Park back then, that's an unbelievable drop punt from that pocket. in particular, and he did it again when he played for the Suns as well. Look at this. Another one, this time a snap. That's almost impossible to kick. He's kicked a little top spinner end on end, and that's why young kids, you do the work at training and you do the work when you're at home, because he was diligent with the work he did off field.
His last game, a losing grand final. So it was a heartbreak. It's a brutal game, this.
And popped his shoulder in this game too.
And full credit to Richmond. I think it was a Dustin Martin initiative. They all removed their medals. So you cannot see a medal with any of the Richmond players out of respect for Gary Ablett and the career that he had. So they were all but there going to win this grand final until Dusty turned things around.
They were 22 points up just before half-time. At half-time, they were 15 up after Dusty kicked a point and then a goal. And, they weren't able to carry it off. And he did his shoulder early in the game and played quite courageously throughout that period, but had no impact.
One of the greats, TJ.
As per usual, outstanding, Llordo. We'll take a break. Still to come, we've got Brownie's quiz with an interesting theme, but another couple of matches to look at right after this.
Would you ever cheat your handicap and not play golf on a windy day in order to protect it? How would you answer that?
I'd say maybe Brad Close has given you something there.
Completely fell for it. Hung up and I didn't know what was going on, and then he called me back later as my brother pissing himself, so got me in a vulnerable time.
3, 2, 1, go.
Audio.
Jeez, you're doing great.
I tell you what, I love it. Monday nights, you can catch it on YouTube and also on Footy Classified here on 9. How's this for a lineup? Jaden Short, Cal Shadir and Charlie Curnow, if you don't mind. That's on Players tomorrow night. And I did get a little bit of a sneak peek. In fact, we participated in one of their stunts for tomorrow night, and I don't think I've laughed so much in a long, long time. Very funny stuff. Check it out tomorrow night with your mate Felix.
Jaden Short's good talent too. Every time we've had him on radio, he does a really good job.
Yeah, and Cal Shadir is very good. And also Charlie Curnow is going to be excellent, as were the Giants yesterday.
Giants were incredible. They played finals like footy, as I mentioned earlier. The Suns didn't quite rock up. The Giants kicked 9 goals from their back half, which is a huge effort. It's been one of their strengths. But as I touched on before, it was their pressure and intensity to get at the opposition and shut down the Suns midfield that was outstanding.
What do you reckon? So Damien Hardwick said we're a metre off all day, and then this is what we're showing, that the goals where they just slice them open. So
space.
I don't know, is it Giants haven't been great this year either. I've been thinking overnight saying, is it just not the Gold Coast Suns' time? Will just playing finals be good enough? We'll find out how they respond this week. They need to be nasty against Port Adelaide, because that's not good enough, and that's not going to win them a final if they serve this up.
Have you got major doubts on what you saw yesterday?
Well, as I said, the Giants have been pretty poor. There hasn't been too many consistent sides.
The Giants can do this, though,
can't they? They can do that to you, but I want to see, it starts with Rowell and Anderson and Miller to bring that heat.
The Giants can only do that if their pressure's up, and Finn Callahan led that along with Rowston. Harry Rowston was enormous, and Toby Green was great up forward too.
Carlton on their 8th game of the season yesterday, and they belted Port Adelaide. The game was done within the first 15 to 20 minutes of this, and Harry McKay, look at that, 7 straight. Whitlock kicked 3, Butters did his job, 29, Hewitt had a fair bit of it, Haynes, and Sam Walsh, we're going to talk about Llordo because he's missed a fair bit of a chunk of football this season. Yesterday, back to his best.
He's a point of difference for them, and when he comes back to play, you say, hallelujah for Carlton, because he's that different player to the rest of them.
Is he playing like this now, and with a few of the other mids, because there's a bit of clean air with Bossies?
Yeah, that's right. They did play in a way that made you want to be a forward, which hasn't been the case in the past. And Damo, I just think it's about how they manage him smartly. Does he play once every 4 or 5 weeks? Sorry, miss one every 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, look, as you do the votes, you've done them, Brownie, haven't you? So McKay got the 7, Hewitt, Walsh and Cripps. It was interesting they even selected him to play with just 2 matches remaining, given his injury history of back problems and foot problems. I'm conservative in that regard normally. I would have actually put him into the full cotton wool and leave him until next year, but they got a good performance out of him. He looked sharp, didn't he?
When you're a leader of a footy club, you want to be out there performing, especially when the club struggles so much all year.
The first week's okay, it's the second, like Hayden Young. You look at $1 million, but the soreness and other injuries can occur the 2nd and 3rd week, so they'll have to be smart. The
My Room charity is an organisation that we really embrace here at Channel 9. We'll do that again on Thursday before the grand final, live 7:30. And this is such exciting news that came through the week, is that Formula One hero Oscar Piastri is among the special guests on the show. He's actually donating one of his race helmets. That's not the McLaren he drives. What you're seeing there is the Mitsubishi Outlander ES7 seven-seat wagon, valued at a tad under $45,000. It's proudly donated by our friends at Ralph De Silva Mitsubishi. Take note of that QR code there, because that is your opportunity to get in now and buy yourself a raffle ticket, because this will be raffled on that particular night, as I mentioned, the Thursday before the granny. $20 each are the tickets. Test out that QR code now. You can see it on your screen. All right, cannot wait for the My Room Telethon, and the fact that Oscar Piastri, did he once say that you were his favourite player?
Yeah, I believe he did, on the Howie games. So Oscar Piastri, I love him.
You sure it was like Nathan Brown you, or...?
Yeah, it could have been the Collingwood one or the Melbourne one. You never know.
Yeah, well, we'll go with you anyway. That's coming up in Grand Final week. Coming up right after this is Nathan, Oscar Piastri's favourite, quiz.
Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. Time for everybody's favourite segment, Brownie's Quiz, brought to you by Sportsbet. $500 on the line, and a very good morning to you, Tony Barbar, for making this all possible. Damo, who are you playing for?
Cara Owens, Torquay, Victoria. Brownie.
Apologies already. Bruce Williams from Ararat.
I'm playing for John Blackwood from Varsity Lakes in Queensland.
And huge apologies already to Kath Rock of Horsham in Victoria.
All right, we're looking at matchups. So the matchups this weekend, who played who, and some of the famous things that happened in those matchups from years gone by. Question 1, which former St Kilda goal sneak was picked up from the Bombers reserves?
It was a meal deal!
-1.
Stephen Milne.
Stephen Milne is right.
Can you give me
I've been told to go quick. We're behind time. Famous faces. Which former pick won a premiership at Brisbane and finished?
Damo's the key.
Des Headland.
Des Headland. Delicate Des. All right, here's some names.
Let's go.
Don't ask me all of them.
Let's go with Lockie Neal in the gut.
Lockie Neal in the middle. You can risk.
What?
You can risk. You can risk. What can you risk?
What do I risk, Brownie?
You can risk. I don't know, Damo.
Come on.
Pretty sure you can risk your points.
Someone should be in your ear about now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you can risk.
Can I just be given some points, maybe?
I'm going to give you a point.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you a point for that one.
Cara Owens deserves it. Yeah.
GWS and Gold Coast have one rising star winner between them. Who is it?
Damo's the key.
Jesse Hogan on a technicality.
Incorrect.
I had half that time to try and get out.
Matt Rao?
Answer is Jaeger O'Meara. Famous faces.
Yeah,
Retiring at the end of 09. Who played 100 games for both Port and then went to Carlton?
Llordo doesn't forget.
Nick Stevens is right, Llordo. You get a pick of the board.
I'll go...
Please don't get risk again.
I'll go Orazio.
Orazio. Fantasia. You lose one, Llordo.
Vegemite sandwiches.
OK. Jim Steins ran through the mark in the preliminary final.
Llordo doesn't forget. Gary Buckenara.
Incorrect. In what year?
Damo's the key.
That was 1987.
Yes, that is correct, Damien.
I know about this.
Famously, right in front of me, who kicked the goal for Collingwood to knock...
Damo's the key.
Jack Anthony.
Jack Anthony is right.
It's not a free
Question 7. Who did North Melbourne play when Jason McCartney retired?
Llordo doesn't forget.
Richmond is right. Well done. Closest to the pin. Everybody gets a go. We're going to start with you, Tony. Closest to the pin. The margin Geelong beat Sydney by in the grand final in 2022.
Oh,
come on, mate. Margin.
It was a lot.
Llordo, you're done.
83 points.
I'll say 65.
68.
72.
81. 83 was the closest for you, Tony. OK, question number 9. Which former Bulldog star kicked 7 goals against the Eagles in back-to-back seasons?
Not Josh Bruce.
No, in 02 and 03.
Damo's the key.
Simon Mitten-Connell?
No.
It was a real deal!
No.
Have a go, Rory.
It was me.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was me.
It was me. OK, who am I? Question 10, who's in front? Damo with a 2-stroke lead. I won 2 premierships with Geelong. So
Damo's the key.
Gary Ablett Jr.
Incorrect. Noting that they're playing Sydney.
Dan.
Incorrect. I'm a two-club player. I'm a premiership captain for 3 points.
Ooh.
I was the Sydney...
Llordo doesn't forget.
Tom Harley for 2 points, Llordo. And you've tie-breakered. Let's go for it. You ready? Just you two involved. Name both the Eagle and Bulldogs' most recent Brownlow medal winners.
Damo's the key.
The Eagles are Matty Priddis, and the Bulldogs would be... Scott Wind. Scott Wind.
Adam Cooney, you lose one. Llordo, you win by default.
John Blackwood, Varsity Lakes, Queensland.
Johnny, $500 coming your way thanks to Sportsbet. Back to you, Tone.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
time takeaways. We're going to go back to Friday night. I don't think Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller will poll any Brownlow votes, in my opinion, in this game of football. But he spoke to Channel 7 after the game about his future, and this is how he answered.
Yeah, obviously it's a decision. Everyone knows about it. And, yeah, obviously spoken to manager and family as well. And, yeah, they're included in my decision. And I guess, yeah, I'm just focused on finishing the season off and giving my all to this club and giving my all playing week in, week out, really. Yeah.
I admire him for putting his nose on the line, or himself out there and answering questions, because he hasn't shied away from the media. But the more and more it's going, do we think he's leaving?
Oh, that to me sounds like he's gone. In that I'm only here for another couple of weeks and I'm going to do everything I can to help this club. That's my reading of it.
Yeah. Look, on this one, you often get a gut feel, Llordo, as the year unfolds with these situations. I have not got one gut feel. And again, I'm not even going to read too much into that. I agree with you, TJ. I think that's how it does read, but I'm not going to read it into the Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller situation, given he's been so guarded with this decision. I know he's referred to family and closest friends there, but a lot of people don't know. The Saints don't know.
Yeah, I don't think any of us know, really. But that's just it for me. A young man being really open and honest, which I love and appreciate.
Yeah, my gut feel is I don't know why, if he's not signed with St Kilda, why he just hasn't signed yet. I just don't understand why you'd put and torture your club for this long not to have made the decision by now.
But I agree with you also. Good on him. I mean, maybe it doesn't come naturally, sort of like doing a lot of media work, but he hasn't shied away from it. I think he's done post-match interviews. Absolutely. I think he's done post-match interviews after every match, probably for the last 5. So good on him.
And I think the midfield, before we finish up on this topic, like without him, I'm not sure what they do. So if they've got someone in mind, because I think they're really thin. Jack Steele coming to the end. We don't know where Marcus Windhager's at.
They'd want to land someone like a Butters or someone, if you could pull someone else out like that to replace him, that'd be pretty handy because, I think I agree, Brownie. The longer this goes, the percentages of him staying is starting to sway.
Is there not around Marshall too, where if and when Tom de Koning does officially announce that he's going there and what that... into Marshall? I'd imagine they would be. They're going to have to replace Reece Stanley and have regularly looked for someone over the journey. It could be as soon as this year.
Well, Nasiah is high up in the Lexus of Blackburn leaderboard, and this is the $55,500 LBX machine. This is unbelievable. Paddy Cripps won this last year. It is now in camera, so we don't know what the voting is going to be, but he was right up there. The Lexus LBX, Lexus of Blackburn, very good friends of the Channel 9 programs here and also Footy Classified, and we thank Lexus of Blackburn for their support.
All righty, we'll take a break on the Sunday Footy Show. The AFLW season is up and running. We'll look at that in detail after the break, and also Damon's got a fair bit on his agenda. Thanks for tuning into the Sunday Footy Show. Whatever you might be doing, you might still be having breakfast in bed or laying on the couch or whatever. Thanks for being part of the show. Jess Webster, a big part of the show, and normally about this time every Sunday we cross out to you and you're freezing outside the ground ready to preview one of the men's matches. But I'm pleased to say here you are in the warmth of the studio and surrounded by friends as we review round 1 so far of AFLW.
Yeah, certainly pleased to be here and not be freezing outside. But yes, the AFLW kicked off in a big way on Thursday night with the season open between Carlton and Collingwood. These are the round 1 results so far. Carlton 24-point winners over Collingwood. The West Coast Eagles also got the job done against Gold Coast. A debutant, Lucia Painter, kicked 3 goals and a quarter for the Eagles to spearhead their victory. Sydney over Richmond, Kangaroos big winners over Geelong with a strong last quarter. Essendon kicked their highest ever score in the competition of 13-7-85 on their way to a big win.
13-7?
Against the Giants. That was the first ever matchup between those two sides. And Melbourne did it easy over the Western Bulldogs, unfortunately for the Demons. Taylor Harris off to hospital. She had an eye injury that cut her season debut short on the weekend, so she's got a bit of an injury.
Any result jump out at you in the first round, good or bad?
I think I was really impressed with Sydney. I know we're going to talk about them in a moment. And the North Melbourne Kangaroos, defending premiers, they just look so good again. They're definitely going to be a team to beat.
Zippy Fish, do we have a new cult hero?
That has to be one of the best names in footy going around. Full name Zipporah Fish. Zippy by name, Zippy by nature. She had an outstanding debut. She was 1 disposal shy of the record for a player on debut. She had 25. Her skills are absolutely elite. A great story. She comes from a small town of Newman, 13 hours north of Perth. In the first national draft last year, she found herself at the Sydney Swans. This is her going back with courage as well to take a mark. And I want you to take a look at the confidence from this kick-in. She took a lot of the kick-ins for the Swans on Friday night, lace out. And dare I say it, boys, I think the Sydney Swans have found a catch in Sydney.
Nice.
Very good.
We took the bait. Hey, Sydney really support AFLW.
Yeah, that game was at North Sydney Oval. It had about 5,000 fans show up. Always a great vibe there. They're building a really strong culture and fan base for the Swans AFLW team.
Also a bit of hype around Ash Centra, who's also started a bit of a craze we've seen. Yeah,
a bit of hype indeed. The #1 draft pick debuted on Thursday night, and this was her. She joined the rare club of kicking a goal with her first kick, a strong contested mark as well. The long sleeves, goes back with confidence. But what caught everyone's eye was actually pre-game in the warm-up. She pulled out something from her bag of tricks as well. Look at this, just casually with the backward bounce between the legs, as casual as you like.
I want to see do that during the game too.
Dare I say, it's caught on over the weekend. So a number of players, even Sam Mitchell, getting in on the act, trying to master this skill. So it's been dubbed the Ash Centra. And she's certainly a player, even before the season. Many have predicted that she is going to change the way that we see the AFLW, and she's been described as a pure football. But boys, I tell you what, it got me thinking though about our great game and how talented you have to be able to pull off something like that as well. And unfortunately for some of us, trying to master the basic skills is proving to be a little bit difficult. Yes. The traditional bounce, TJ, just not quite, couldn't quite make the footy talk there. I think before you try the Ash Centre, TJ, maybe just try and master the basics.
If you lot took out every pee take of me, this show would go 40 minutes, I reckon.
Hey, Jess, 6 matches down in round 1, 3 to come. What's the excitement for you today?
There's certainly a big match happening up at Springfield in Brisbane. The Brisbane Lions taking on Hawthorn. That, to me, is the pick of the bunch today. St Kilda kick off their season against Adelaide Crows. They're dubbing this season the last dance. Their coach is hang up the coach's hat at the end of the year. And then Port Adelaide and Fremantle, 2 finalists from last season, to close out round 1. It's been a big round, Damo. And in terms of your agenda as well, you boys spoke earlier about Ken Hinkley. Where do you think he's going to end up next?
He's not going to be short of offers. We'll debate that in a moment. This is Ken post-match last night about how 2026 may look.
Me and Vossi get on great. Yeah, I think they're manageable. I don't think there's any issue with manageable, but I think, is it realistic? Probably not.
He does have a great relationship there. He's equally got a great relationship, Browny, with Chris Fagan of the Brisbane Lions. And it's not beyond the realms that something could happen there if Danny Daly finds himself elsewhere. Danny Daly, I believe, will be a person of interest potentially as soon as the Melbourne coach search.
How good would it be to have Ken Hinkley come in, even if he's not a senior coach somewhere, but underneath the senior coach? He's been at Port Adelaide for a long time, and they've been at the pointy end for a long time. He's been able to regenerate that group time and time again. So to have him underneath somebody, even a young coach, I think it's a fantastic opportunity for a club who gets him. I
think after 13 seasons, he's going to take some time off with family. I feel also, too, that he won't want to be a senior assistant coach. He'll be more the management role, a football operations boss. And there's certainly a potential vacancy there for him in the Tasmanian setup with Brendan Gale, the CEO of that club, and yet to be given a licence from the AFL, but he's still moving as though it's going to happen. And I know he's spoken to Ken, and I know there'll be a very senior role there should he want it. Speaking of Tasmania, North Melbourne today playing Richmond. They end their association with the Hobart venue as a result of this season's completion. They, as we know, are moving out of that region for the incoming Devils team. They've got an arrangement now with the state of WA, and when it comes to a match sense, I think Rory does need to win it because they've only got 4 of those things this year. Wins.
They've got to finish the year off well. Do you think that's a good move for them or a poor move to go to WA instead of Tassie?
They need to clear the market. Hawthorn is still exploring the possibilities of staying in Launceston to a point. How that looks, the AFL's yet to sign off on. Financially, they need to. I understand the metrics on that. It's not ideal, though, for a club that is trying to win as many matches as it can. And the Melbourne Footy Club, as we saw during the week, TJ, announced a subcommittee to find its next coach after Simon Goodwin. I'm never too sure why clubs go down this path. I understand it's the optics and they want to get some outside talent in there, and the outside names are on that list. Frank Panisi, a famous person administration-wise for the Storm with Craig Bellamy, Joe Watson there at the Essendon Footy Club, but ultimately it's the people at the club who are going to be on the hook for the decision that they make, and they've got the incoming president, the outgoing one in Brad Green there, and Paul Greer, the incoming CEO. So they've got set themselves a time frame, Llordo, of grand final week in their ideal world scenario to have this wrapped up. I expect them to adhere to that time frame, and Nathan Buckley, TJ, will be a starting point person of major interest for them. They still are interested in an experienced coach. He's in that list.
OK, not a criticism, more out of interest. What does Frank Panisi bring? Like, what does he bring to that selection?
What he brings
and Joe Watson
is knowledge of arguably the greatest coaching regime in Australian sport under Craig Bellamy at the Melbourne Storm. Joe Watson, a different skill set. Obviously, it's a different club that they're looking to access the talents of him.
When it gets to the pointy end and they come down to like 2 candidates, that's when your leadership group or your captain will get involved as well. So there'll be some input from the current playing group because there absolutely has to be buy-in from them too.
All right, terrific stuff, Damo. Jess, thanks very much. In 5 seconds, what's the one match you're looking forward to next week?
Oh, great question.
OK, what about today?
You've already answered
that one. I know, I just thought I'd ask again. Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. Rude little boy. All right.
You two have been good today. Don't spoil it.
What was?
Asking about next week when Jess is just worrying about today's games.
Yeah?
Yeah.
OK, well...
What's your game next week you are looking forward to in the AFL?
North Melbourne, see if they can just keep going.
Next week, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
North Melbourne?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, they are the reigning premiers, aren't they?
No, I thought you meant in the AFL.
Oh, the AFL?
Yeah.
Whatever Eric Hipwood's doing. That's what I'm doing. All right, we'll take a break. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. We'll preview the remaining matches in the men's ranks right after this.
Make the most of the cooler months with a winter retreat at Langham Hotels and Resorts. In Melbourne, Sydney or the Gold Coast, enjoy a room upgrade, buffet breakfast for 2, bottle of sparkling and late checkout. The Langham Melbourne, a proud supporter of the Sunday Footy Show.
You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. Handball coming up very, very shortly. Sibling rivalry.
It's going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. We look forward to that. We also look forward to the 3 games to complete this penultimate home and away round of football.
Kicks it off with North Melbourne up against the Tigers today. It's probably a game neither want to win to get some draft picks, but I'd imagine North Melbourne should win this game. In saying that, the Tigers have been more competitive for most of the season. I'm going to stick with the Tigers here. I think they can get the job done.
OK, when you say that about a game that neither would particularly want to win because of draft choices, that's not to say that neither want to lose.
No, absolutely not. No, it's just
an expression.
No, why I said
and North Melbourne, Brady, while you're talking about draft choices, they've already traded out their first pick in this year's draft, so it really doesn't matter.
OK, Damien. Well, let's move right along.
You can't embarrass you.
It's a silly thing to say.
Just let him have an opinion.
TJ, so much at stake for Geelong. This is for a top 2 home final, so they can leapfrog the Brisbane Lions if they win this game of football. I love the changes. Dangerfield back, Jack Martin back, Nevitt and Clark go out. No Brodie Grundy. I think the Cats can win a tight one.
They need this game, don't they?
They have to win. Must win it to get top 2 and avoid going to Adelaide or Brisbane for a first final.
All right, another pivotal game, of course, in terms of, top 8. Not necessarily top 4, but the Bulldogs and West Coast?
Yeah, Bulldogs will get this one done. West Coast had a great game last week. They applied some unbelievable pressure against the Crows, but I can't see them getting them up. Against the Doggies, who must win to keep their finals chance alive.
All righty, here we go. Time for everyone's favourite segment.
Yes, Damien.
TJ, a former colleague of yours and a great friend of this show, Michael Roberts, once coined the phrase, I'm confused. And I raise that because this dog, Brownie, is confused. He's playing fetch with his great little mate here. And you have the ball has popped into the hoodie.
Where's the ball gone, Damo?
And the dog is confused.
I'm confused.
He's confused.
Great job.
Because you're the dog whisperer with tennis balls, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, absolutely. And you're the dog whisperer for little doggy kisses, aren't you?
Yeah. How did you like that animal fact? Good one?
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah.
Was that yours?
Yeah, it's always good when I have a hand in the animal fact.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Okay. That was weird from you, by the way.
It was? Oh, don't you remember TJ teaching his dog how to kiss?
Oh, hang on. I didn't teach my dog how to kiss.
I just forgotten about that, Brownie.
What your dog's
Is he
done?
the last man that should teach people how to kiss?
Hey, don't forget, a little later on tonight on Channel 9, it is Footy Furnace. I tell you what, it's taken 23 rounds, but Llordo came up with a good one there. It is Footy Furnace with James Hird, Jimmy Bartell and also Tom Morris, the newsbreaker himself. He had a beauty through the week, an exclusive on the Punt Road stand coming down. All that coming up. Check your local guides. We'll be back with Handball next.
Carlton have selected father-daughter Sophie McKay from the Sandringham Dragons.
What a moment for the McKay family. Father Andrew played 244 games for the Blues. Is that Abbie I spy on stage, ready to give her younger sister her jersey?
I'm Abbie McKay. This is my little sister, Sophie McKay. I obviously have number 5, the dad's number. And so what number will you be? Because obviously you can't be number 5.
Well, maybe 55. I definitely want 5 in there. But
55's a very high number.
Maybe. I feel like that's cool.
Yeah, I kind of
like that. Did like the 1 5 and the double 5.
Well, it's high fives all round here on the Sunday Footy Show today for a very special edition of Louis Handball, because we've got the McKay sisters with us. Of course, Sophie, welcome.
Thank you.
And also Abbie, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
This is great. And of course, AFLW season, as we heard from Jess just a little earlier, up and running now, which is terrific. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. We're so excited. It's been a long pre-season, so we're ready to get into some games.
Got the win on Thursday, which was nice. Nice start to the season. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do for the rest of the season.
Albeit at the expense of Collingwood. But anyway.
There was a big build-up to it, wasn't there? And then to go and deliver as you did against the hated rival, it's as good as it gets for a starting point, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've had a lot of list changes this year, so we've kind of tried to change the way we play a little bit, and I think it worked really well and allowed us to get the win, which was great.
I know you both get asked this a lot, but was it the dream for both of you from a young age, or did it come later for one of you?
Yeah, probably later for Abs. Mum started up a team when she was about 15. And yeah, you probably didn't take it seriously until a year out and then got drafted. But yeah, I played with the boys all the way through. So yeah, it's something I wanted to do forever.
Now, is there a hierarchy in the household? I've got 3 daughters and the oldest really controls everything. Does that spill onto the training track and away from everything?
I've moved out now, so the hierarchy's been broken down a little bit. But definitely when I was at home, I think I was the boss.
Yeah, well, she's my captain now, so she's the boss at work too.
Who are the teams to beat this year?
I reckon North Melbourne still, though. I probably have money on them to go back-to-back. I think Melbourne will be great this year. I'm looking forward to seeing what Geelong can do as well. I think they probably had a rough season last year with injury and stuff like that, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do this year.
Now, it doesn't seem all that long ago that you were figuring in the whole football scenario, because we've got this footage here. This is great stuff of when you were just a baby. Look at that, ringing the bell.
Sophie is so young.
Yeah,
How old were you then?
I reckon I was 9. That's wild.
And was that your brother?
Yes.
Ringing the bell as well?
Yeah.
And we saw him on Thursday night. He had an interesting sort of take on the whole 5 thing, didn't he?
Yeah, he debuted the 5-5-5 jumper, so 3 5s on the back of his jumper, but he was loving the attention from the TV, so that was good for him.
On social media, he was loving it.
Getting much advice from the old man?
He tries to slide in a few little things here and there, but I mean, he's just our dad, so most of the time I just try to ignore him.
How did you rate Abbie's first pre-game speech as skipper?
Yeah, awesome. She's had a couple of practices with the practice matches. Yeah, it's kind of surreal to look at who's talking to me. It's my sister, but yeah, she's awesome. Great leader.
And that moment, to play a game together as siblings would have been pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was awesome. When we were running out, I felt a little lump in my throat, to be honest. I'm not that emotional, but I was trying to hold back the tears running out. But I mean, once the siren goes, I just, to be honest, totally forgot. But she did a great job, so I was really happy for her.
Did you have that emotional moment too?
Yeah, definitely. I reckon it was when I went over to my family, I just started bawling my eyes out after the game. Yeah, just childhood dream, and to be able to live it in front of Abs and run out after, it was amazing.
And this is the great thing. You were saying that you played with the boys, but this is the pathway now for all girls to actually play in all-female teams and don't have to sort of be the odd one out.
Yeah, it's really nice. Obviously, yeah, being the only girl, you automatically feel a bit out of place. You know, I think it did wonders for my footy skills. But yeah, it's really nice that young girls are able to start from a young age.
OK, well, there is definite sibling rivalry here today, and Nathan's about to tell you what the overall prize is for the year.
It is the best prize pack in Australia on any program. This is the Temper mattress. These are the best beds in the world. They go into a place called 0G where your feet go up and your head goes up a little bit. It's where astronauts take off. This is the best mattress. I've got a couple of them at home. My daughters have got...
You're selling
I'm not bad. ambassador for Temper, so I like to pump them up. Jason Nicholson, the team, they're fantastic. The pillows are outstanding too, and they are the best. You sleep well all day, and I don't know if you play golf, but we've got golf clubs available too, the Callaway Elite, so you play golf well all day after you sleep. Even with the cricket shots, they go straight as well. Happy Gilmore 2's out at the moment too, so golf is in the news. The Callaways and the Temper.
Have you seen it yet, Happy Gilmore 2?
No, I haven't.
Anyone seen it? No, mixed reviews. All right, who's going to go first?
Soph can go.
Come, Soph.
All right, you've been told, Soph.
Go, Soph.
Now, you would normally play with smaller balls,
Yeah, they're a
Okay.
bit heavy.
Okay.
That's all right.
We'll get our excuses out now.
Oh, it moves. I did not move.
So it's 5 off the first hand and then 5 off the other.
Okay. I do have 2 broken fingers on the other.
Not
Seven.
Pretty good.
Good start.
Oh.
9. 7. 16.
Thanks, Damo. It's got to go through for the 10.
7.
Nice. Oh, thank you, Rory.
Yep, just make
23.
sure everyone knows.
How many have you done?
5.
28.
So was that the hand with the broken
No,
fingers?
this is the.
Okay,
This one's going to be
do
bad.
we make
you
an
weren't actually
executive?
bad then.
Guys, do we make?
No.
So
Yeah,
you
I
can
think
do
you
the
should.
Right hand for both.
Broken fingers.
Yeah.
Right hand for both.
Sure, I get right hand for
We'll just say you've got broken fingers.
Yeah, I've got broken fingers.
Okay.
7.
Oh, nice
Good
hand.
power.
Nice hand.
5.
12.
7.
19. 29.
Have I got one more?
5.
Not so.
34. That's a 6-shot lead for Abbie.
I'll come back.
Yeah, broken fingers though.
Yeah, we'll do all right.
Okay.
Do I go again?
Yep. You got 5 more. Yeah.
Here we go. Game on.
Here we go.
7.
45.
It is game on here.
5.
50. 2 to come.
7.
Oh, bad luck.
57.
Oh.
And 59.
That's all right. That's okay. All the pressure's on Abbie.
Oh, gosh. Bad start.
39.
7.
46.
7.
53.
7.
60.
God, just got to get
Come on.
one.
Finish it.
Nearly does too. All right, here's fine style. Abbie is our winner for today in the sibling rivalry round of Bluey's handball. Who you got coming up for round 2?
Hawthorn on Saturday night.
Oh, that's going to be tough, isn't it?
Absolutely. It'll be a tough game. Yeah.
All right, terrific stuff. What do you got on for the rest of the day?
Not a whole lot. Day off.
A day off?
Yeah, day off
Recovery day,
today.
TJ.
And you come in here. Fantastic. What was that?
Recovery day.
Oh, no, I thought he was going to throw a ball at me. I thought you said, look out, CJ. No, I'm okay. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm fine. All right, fantastic. All the best for the remainder of the season, which is quite a lot of it. So we'll take a break now, and we'll see you again next. He unnerved me. I thought he was throwing a ball in my direction.
You've had a shocker here.
Well, go on. Well, what do we normally say?
May the sun shine on you today.